For today's video, we play another pretty interesting board-based deck in this meta. I guess pretty fun one. It's Puppet Portal. I didn't really see much. Don't remember seeing much Puppet Portal in the actual meta when I was playing at the time, but now it seems to be quite popular. So I guess I'm jumping on the train as well. Heard good things about it. Seems like it's a pretty good deck for climbing in this expansion. So let's look at the deck list we're playing for today first. So this is the list we're playing for today. I took the tournament winning list and I modified it and put in some cards that I personally prefer. I'll be the first to admit this is far from the most optimal deck list, but I don't know, I just put in the cards I wanted to play inside. So yeah, feel free to adjust it yourself after your own testing based on what you prefer. So the main cards of this deck, Lishana. She gives you these amulets, New Prayer and New Destruction. They deal damage and heal you at the start of your turn and when you play them. And then they get this counter when allied followers are destroyed, which is what Puppet is good at doing. And then you also have Orcus, which is a major Puppet payoff, I guess. It just summons some very strong followers. It summons herself, it summons Lloyd, and then they evolves them so you can storm your opponent for 6, long their board, do tons of cool stuff, and she also just summons puppets with more stats when you fuse into her, which is quite strong. So yeah, other than that, we just run a few weird cards like Wielder of the Cosmos. I just like playing this card. I don't know, it's just fun, I guess. And yeah, let's look at the gameplay. Our first game here is against Haven and we are going first. I find that usually I like to have at least one game to just show off the basic game plan of the deck, and for some reason Haven just happens to be a good target for it, so that's why there's so much Haven. So for the mulligan, we look for cheap puppet generators like the 1-cost puppet generators. Flower Doll, not really great to keep, I don't think, because she needs another puppet already to do her value, so I wouldn't keep Puppet unless you can pair her with a Threadmaster or the I can't remember the one called spell is called, something like Craftsmanship, the one that gives you puppets, that one. And of course you keep Casim because Casim is the best card in the game. And that mulligan should work for you for the most part. This deck for some reason has very strong early game. I mean, part of it is Casim, of course, but you have stuff like Merciless Voiding, which is quite strong as well. You have puppets to deal with your opponent's board. Like, even when you're going second, you're not even that behind on board, which is quite impressive. Right here, we are just pushing our pressure, great with the Casim to keep my followers alive, and then we just drop the young Threadmaster. For the early game, you just do want to just apply pressure to your opponent. It helps you advance your followers, destroy a win condition as well, so you can play Lishana to get a nice hand. Fortunately though, my opponent does have John, so there goes my whole board. I don't really think there was a way for me to play around this John, unfortunately, so there's that. Go ahead and draw a puppet into a Blossoming Flower Doll. We do want to get these Flower Dolls doing something at some point. So we go ahead and trade it off and then just evolve the Flower Doll. I do run Unnamed Determination in this deck, which is why I am a bit more gung-ho with spending evil points. I guess you might consider being more conservative with them if you don't run it, especially if you're looking to finish with things like Jetpack Gunner. You kind of need the evil point in that case. We are not in the days of Jetpack Gunner plus Forge Weaponry, unfortunately, because this is not a cutthroat deck, so yeah. So we'll go for the Bellringer Angel. They will evolve it. It's a very large Bellringer Angel because my opponent drew a lot of cards. And I guess they just ignored the Flower Doll. It doesn't make a difference that we do trade it ourselves anyway. We'll drop the Bellringer here for our own bit of a card draw here. So that's making a big follower. Then we pick up, we can go ahead and fuse into the Orcus here to try and get Orcus to do something, as well as just get these Flower Dolls converted into puppets because Flower Doll isn't particularly useful. So we go ahead and trade here. We can't get rid of the Bell Angel, unfortunately, but we do have a lot of wards. And we do hit in because they're gonna probably play Jupiter, or at least to play around Jupiter, I guess it's probably safer to just trading. I mean, if they banish it, it doesn't matter whether I have my damage shield or not, right? And they do have Jupiter, so I guess that kind of pays off in my end here. So we'll just trade here, and they will drop the Metatron as well. As you can see, my opponent is doing very well on their followers with Ward Destroyed. Not so much on their evils though, so we're not too worried about Holy Saber at this point, and they've already spent all their evil points as well, so that's good for us. So we could put out the Craftsman's Pride here, fuse 2 so that we can get Orcus's full effect. And go ahead and play the Orcus, we'll both get evolved. We can go ahead and just answer their board here. Trade off the flower doll, and then we can use the second Orchis we have in hand to fuse. And then we can get rid of the Bell Ringer Angel that way. And unfortunately, we don't manage to fully to go face here, but I mean, it's Ward Haven. The Apple of Wards is somewhat to be somewhat understandable, I suppose. There's the Tina from my opponent and another Wilbur, which is quite annoying. And then they have Camilla as well, Carmilla. And they probably top deck the Empyrean Unicorn, because if not, they would have played Empyrean Unicorn first, I think. Yeah, then we go ahead and play the Inauspicious Puppeteer. They are at turn A, which is when you have to watch out, but they don't have enough evolve, so even if they play Holy Saber, they can't line up followers next to it, which is quite weak, honestly. You go ahead and play the Orchis here, get rid of Camilla because we don't want them evolving that. Then just go ahead and trade off, and then we just lock that cheap ward here. And for the will drop the Holy Saber, but again, because they don't have enough evil points, they don't recover play points, so they can only evolve the Holy Saber by herself. And it doesn't survive either, so a pretty weak turn from them, and we do have lethal here. So that's it for this game, I guess. The basic game plan for this deck is like this, I guess. So for our next game, we have a mirror match here, and we are going first. Of course, it could be Resonance, or it could be like Calamity or something, but I'll just tell you now, this is going to be Puppet. We keep our cheap generator as well as Kasim. Inauspicious Puppeteer isn't super good early on. I think you want to save it for later on when you need to clear boards, so I wouldn't really bother. We'll just go ahead and exchange this to Craftsman's Pride for more puppets. Forged Weaponry is a bit situational in this deck, so you wouldn't want to go for it that much. I think usually just picking up the puppets is a safe play. Go ahead and toss Metatron. We are going second. I mean, we are going first, so the Metatron won't do much for us. For the mirror, whoever draws better wins. Generally, if both players draw equally well, then going first is favored. If going second player has Metatron, then I think going second is probably favored. So they do clear our stuff, which is annoying, but we can just clear their stuff right back. Just drop an enhanced puppet. For this game, I chose it because I wanted to show what happens when you don't draw your key cards. Because you don't always draw your Orchises and your Lishanas every game, I don't think. So you have to be somewhat able to win. My opponent is running Rosa, so they are running a different list from mine, I suppose. We do want to clear the Rosa though, so we go ahead and pick another enhanced puppet. And we just draw another Blooming Doll. As you can see here, this deck does have some consistency problems. You can run more card draw options in this deck to help combat it, but I chose not to because I don't know, something's wrong with me probably. So now we'll drop the Threadmaster here, trade into my Flowering Doll, and it lowers my other Flowering Doll's attack to 0, which is annoying. Another puppet, which will clear that Flowering Doll, I believe, yep. And they can get away with not spending their evil point here, which I guess is good for them. For us, we want to draw into our deck here, so we just play Summon Divine Treasure, pick up the Draw Amulet. No reason to spend our puppets or our Metatron or our Unnamed Determination here. Just pick out a nice 5/5 ward. We can get another one of these amulets out to draw into our deck more. And then we just play one puppet here just to avoid overdrawing. On this enhanced puppet as well as a puppet. At this point, we are pretty even in that neither of us have our key cards. But unfortunately, my opponent does have Lishana here, so they are, I guess, doing a bit better than me. And they do have the 10 followers destroyed for Lishana's full effect, so they do get the full 3 cards. They will trade off their followers as well, I guess. So we need to draw. Our hand is very bad, so go ahead and evolve the Bell Ringer to use their evil effect to draw. We have dual source of Mourning to help clear boards, so that's pretty nice. Don't really need it right now though, so we do trade off these puppets. We can use the puppet here to trade into Lishana. And then must use Unnamed Determination to draw since we have the spare play points floating, and we pick up Wielder of the Cosmos, which is quite nice. Just poke them in the face here. And just give the Bell Angel Bane, I guess, depending on what they want to do. I just need to make some hand space because we're gonna overdraw again. There's my opponent's Inauspicious Puppeteer. We'll use the Merciless Voiding as well to summon more followers. And they do full clear, but fortunately for me, they don't manage to play either of the amulets here because they're a bit too slow, which is good. So at this point, we gave out on drawing Lishana and Arceus. Even if we draw them now, we don't have a good way to advance them anyway. So right now, I just went into the Cosmos game plan here. Just punch them in the face, get a bunch of Cosmoses. Protect it behind a ward. I mean, my opponent has evil points, they can probably clear it, but it should at least annoy them. Maybe just keep using Cosmos to pressure their face because they're quite low here at 9. Of course, they do have healing as well, so we're not that close to lethal either, but I guess it's something. There is their Rosa and the Cassim as well. They probably should have evolved the Cassim first if they were gonna do that, but you know, it's fine, it's not a big deal probably. Maybe drop the new prayer to heal themselves as well. We do have more evil points, so we can use Merciless Voiding for the full effect to get a ward. Play a puppet in case we overdraw, I think, and then just... Oh no, just trade it off first, then we play the wielder. Just be careful about wielder because it does have the effect that deal 3 damage to all followers, including your own, so... there is an exclamation mark order sort of issue there, I guess, that I should have thought about. But thankfully I didn't get that effect, so I don't get punished for my misplay. Yeah, I probably should have played the Cosmos first before playing the Voiding, but you know, sometimes I'm bad at the game. My opponent does drop their new Destruction and then drop their Lishana as well. They probably should have played Lishana first because now they lose 1 follower because of it, but I guess that's fine. And they do manage to snipe my Cosmos here. They don't get punished for not trading first, which is unlucky for me. They'll drop the puppet as well to fully clear my board. So they could have cleared my board first, but they didn't, and they just used the spell, and they just got lucky with the spell, so that's a bit unfortunate for me. At this point, we'll just drop the Cosmos, hope that Cosmos will just murderize their board. Unfortunately, we don't get the follower destruction effect on the Bell Ringer, so we have to figure out a way through the Bell Ringer a different way. I use the Swords of Longing here, give the puppet Bane so we can clear the Bell Ringer. We just want to pressure their face as much as we can at this point to hopefully find lethal. We draw another Cosmos here. Unfortunately, it just gets a war, which isn't super useful. Actually, it isn't super useful. I don't think. I don't think not having the war would have helped, but I'm not sure. They will trade their enhanced puppet as well as their and a new prayer as well. So even if I didn't have the ward, this Cosmos would have survived on 1 anyway, so that's fine. We do get we have a 10 cost builder, so this is guaranteed lethal because you get all the effects. So yeah, it's a bit of a nice builder of the Cosmos game, I guess. That's it for this game. One more game here against Sword, and we are going second. For this video, I'm sort of focusing on showing alternative game plans because when you draw everything like Lishana and Arceus, the game plan is very straightforward. You don't really have to think that much about it. So yeah, I'm focusing more on the alternative game plans that are maybe a bit more annoying to navigate, and just showcasing some of the weird tech cards that I threw in this deck for fun. So unfortunately no Cassim here yet. Oh, we do pick up 2 Cassims off the top though, so that's good. No 1 cost generators, which is mildly unfortunate, but probably not a big deal. And just go ahead and drop Cassim here. Cassim is such a strong card against board-based decks, and even decks that aren't board-based, if they can't clear a Cassim early, you can just snowball into a win with him alone because he's just that broken. My opponent does have bad Catha though, so they will be able to clear my Cassim, which is slightly unfortunate, but I guess it's sort of to be expected. Go ahead and drop the Inauspicious Puppeteer here to just clear that bad Catha with Tempo. Big set up a Master here as well, just for a nice bit of followers to hit their face with, I guess. My opponent will drop their Kagemitsu here, which is fine. We do have the Metatron here, so we can ramp. We can technically reach Arceus next turn depending on what my opponent does, so that's what I go for. We go ahead and fuse into the puppet. And then we play the Blossoming Flower Doll onto the puppet so that we can get another Flower Doll, of course. Normally I advocate for ignoring Kagemitsu, but since I have nothing better to do this turn, it's completely fine to clear it. And this turn, if they clear both my Flowering Dolls, I can just drop Arceus next turn and they should have trouble clearing that. But here they just go for the Taketsumi, which is fine, I guess. It will clear up some of my board and they drop a Metatron as well, which just barely prevents me from trading off my own Flower Dolls. So unfortunately, Arceus this turn is beyond reach, which is slightly unfortunate, but there are other things we can do, so that's fine. We can just drop the Casim here for a bit of tempo, I guess. Nothing better to do, we don't have much cards in hand right now. And we'll trade off the Flowering Doll and draw a Trendmaster to pick out another puppet as well and just poke them in the face. Don't really have to worry too much about board lock against Sword because they need rarely to advance their win condition anyway. My opponent does unfortunately have Monochrome endgame here, which is very annoying. Because it's a very strong card that rivals Arceus in value, kind of. I mean, not really, but kind of. And they will trade off. For some reason, they leave their Kagemitsu alive, which, like, I'm not complaining, but, you know, I guess they decided Kagemitsu should be alive for some reason. There's the Cardmaster for a very annoying board. It's very hard to just drop Arceus into this board because it's not great, I guess, but we do kind of have to do it. Nothing else we can do with this hand. Just go ahead and drop the Arceus here. We will unfortunately have to spend all our resources on trading here. And trade off. We preserve the Evo Point because Evo Points are very important for us. We get rid of the Magnus here, and the rest followers we can just log onto their board. Don't drops Erika here. I don't really know what they're doing because there's no way they can get lethal from here. They don't even have the full board space to work with because they have 2 locked followers. So I guess this is just the most efficient way to answer this while dealing damage. Maybe, I don't know what they're doing. This Pumpkin Recruit as well, which will get rid of my Lloyd. And they drop the Killer Instincts as well as sell a Leod. And then they just punch them in the face. Depending on what we top deck here, there is a chance we get lethal, but this is not it, unfortunately. So we'll just go ahead and try to draw into our deck and heal up more. Going as low as 10 health against Sword is very dangerous, but they don't have Evo Points, so unless they have like very good cards in their hand. As you can see, they don't have many cards in hand, but unless those are some very good cards, we should still be fine, so we do go for the healing here. Someone drops the Corpse Master as well as Steel Luminous Knight. We'll take a bunch of damage here, go down to 1, but we are still not dead, and we do have a weird, very strange lethal here, so we can go ahead and watch that. So go ahead and play Craftsman's Pride first, use the puppet to get rid of Erika's Killer Instincts. Drop the Enhance to clear the Cardmaster here. And then we use Maisha. Weird quirk about Maisha, when she evolves she does have Storm even if you don't get the 8 play point effect. So we can poke them for 1 here, do strike for 3, and then the last one damage from Summon Divine Treasure. So a bit of a weird lethal here to finish off the video, I guess. So those are all the games I have for you today. Hopefully give you some idea of how this deck worked, and if you're interested in it, you can definitely pick it up. I doubt you will regret it. It's a fairly strong deck. You can definitely climb with it. In fact, I just finished my GM climb with it a while ago, so yeah, there's that. And hopefully these matches were able to showcase some of these weird tech options like Maisha and Wielder of the Cosmos that I run for fun. Yeah, that's it for today. See you next time. Bye bye.